In this video about Buddhist teachings, we will explore 8 types of people we should never help under any circumstances. You'll be especially surprised by 2 of them. But before diving into the topic, listen to a story that will help you understand the lesson this video contains. Many years ago, in a small Japanese village, there lived a farmer named Hiroshi, known for his kindness and willingness to help others. One day, Hiroshi found a snake caught in a trap in his barn. Even though the snake could be dangerous, Hiroshi felt compassion and decided to free it, inspired by Buddhist teachings on empathy for all living beings. Hiroshi cared for the snake, fed it, and provided a safe place for it to recover. However, as soon as the snake regained its strength, it bit Hiroshi and escaped. Injured and shocked, Hiroshi regretted the snake's reaction and recalled Buddha's words, "The essence of all beings is as it is, it cannot be changed, only understood." He realized that the snake's nature was such that it would bite regardless of the help it received. This story, like many others in Buddhist teachings, illustrates that some people, much like that snake, do not change their essence, no matter what is done for them. It reminds us of Buddha's words, "Just as the lily is pure in water, the human heart holds both good and evil." Sometimes, in our desire to help, we may overlook important signs, which ultimately lead us to be hurt by others. It's crucial to know whom we offer our help to and understand that not everyone will appreciate our efforts. Imagine your energy is like a battery. Some people recharge it, while others drain it faster than a phone running too many apps at once. Sound familiar? We've all encountered both types of people in our lives. Let's examine these energy vampires, and the importance of recognizing them. Before we continue, if you find this content valuable, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on upcoming videos. Let's begin. First, the envious. Imagine you've just won the lottery. Who would you tell first? Before you start mentally listing all those people, let me share an interesting fact with you. According to a study conducted by Harvard University in the United States, 70% of lottery winners experience a deterioration in their personal relationships after their win. The main reason for this is envy. However, you don't need to win millions to feel the destructive effects of envy. From a job promotion to a new relationship that makes you happy, there will always be envious people ready to hurl poisonous criticisms full of disapproval and resentment. Psychologist Sarah Prasad, in her book The Philosophy of Envy, explains that this emotion arises when we perceive a gap between what we have and what we believe we deserve. It's as if we have an internal cosmic justice meter that goes haywire when someone else gets something we think should be ours. Think of your dreams and goals as a secret recipe. You wouldn't share it with just anyone, right? You'd only share that secret with people you completely trust, those who wouldn't just avoid betraying you but would also help improve it. In the Zen style, when you decide to share your plans or successes, do so in a way that inspires rather than incites envy. Instead of saying, "I just got an amazing promotion," you could say, "I'm excited about this new challenge at work." Although the difference may seem small, the effect on how others perceive your message can be significant. The ancient Chinese philosopher and founder of Taoism, Lao Tzu, reminds us that words have the power to shape reality. Choose your words carefully. How to identify envious friends. Here are some warning signs. The unconvincing flatterer. Their congratulations are more forced than a smile during an awkward family gathering. The minimizer. No matter how significant your achievement, to them, it's always a matter of luck or something trivial. The relentless competitor. Your success is just an excuse for them to tell you how they did it better, faster, or cheaper. The shadow saboteur. they support you publicly but privately do everything possible to undermine your plans. The information gatherer, they always want more details, not out of genuine interest but to find faults or copy you. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to protecting yourself. The second is developing what I call a bamboo mindset. Do you know what makes bamboo grow strong and resilient? It turns difficulties and adversities into strength and flexibility. According to Zen philosophy, every obstacle is an opportunity to practice. Similarly, you can use the envy of others as motivation to keep growing and improving. Remember, your worth doesn't diminish with the achievements of others, nor does it increase with their failures. As former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of joy. Value your own journey, goals, and personal development. Zen Buddhist philosophy teaches us that the path to enlightenment is an individual journey that each person must undertake alone. As Zen Master Shunryu Suzuki expressed, each of us must cross our own ocean by ourselves. Envy often reflects others' insecurities. The next time you notice an envious look, smile, not because you take pleasure in someone else's discomfort, but because you've recognized a sign that you're headed in the right direction. In the spirit of Zen, smile with compassion, understanding that others' envy is a manifestation of their own suffering. In summary, being selective about sharing your achievements and plans isn't selfish or arrogant, it's a way to protect your energy, maintain motivation, and avoid negative envy. The next time you have good news or an exciting plan, take a deep breath, smile to yourself, and treat it as your most valuable treasure. Share it only with those who will genuinely celebrate your success. Remember, the greatest accomplishments are those others recognize on their own, without the need to be proclaimed aloud. Let your achievements speak for themselves. Ultimately, actions are always more eloquent than words and draw less envy. Number 2, manipulators. This group poses a unique challenge because these individuals are true masters at exploiting the goodwill of others. They take advantage of genuine attempts to help, serving their own interests without any intention of reciprocation or showing real change. It's as if you're playing chess, and your opponent can move your pieces without you realizing it. That's the tactic of a skilled manipulator. Don't worry if you're just realizing someone like this is in your life. Today, we'll learn to recognize their tactics and protect ourselves from their cunning. As Zen Master Shunryu Suzuki said, the most important thing is to find a balance between calm and action. When dealing with a manipulator, it's essential to remain serene and aware of your actions. Manipulators exploit our emotions to achieve their goals. In Zen, we learn that awareness is the key to understanding the true nature of reality. We must be mindful of our thoughts and emotions to avoid being swept away by their games. Why do some people seem to have a special talent for manipulating others? Psychology offers some intriguing explanations. According to a study from a renowned American university, individuals with narcissistic and Machiavellian tendencies are more likely to manipulate others. It's as if they have an internal navigation system designed to find the quickest path to their goals, regardless of whom they must step over to get there. This doesn't mean you should become paranoid and distrustful of everyone, but sharpening your perception to identify these emotional pirates is crucial. As renowned psychologist and author of Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, Robert Cialdini, said, "The best defense against manipulation is knowledge and awareness." Consider your emotional well-being as a fortress that must be protected at all costs. Manipulators are like intruders trying to breach your defenses. Without a robust security system, they'll soon be comfortably settled in your life, controlling everything. How to identify a manipulator? Here are some red flags. The emotional chameleon, they change personalities faster than a teenager changes moods. Their behavior adapts to the person they're with, trying to become whatever they think that person wants to see. As Zen Master Dun said, each moment is priceless, don't waste it on superficial games. The gaslighting expert, they make you question your perception of reality. Are you sure it happened that way? I think your memory is failing. You should take something for that. These are examples of what they might say. In Zen, we learn that reality is subjective, but truth always resides within us. Trust your intuition and don't let others distort it. Be aware, pause, and reflect carefully to ensure you're not dealing with such a person when you encounter similar statements. The sniper of self-esteem, these individuals make comments that seem harmless but undermine your confidence. They might say, "Are you really going to wear that?" Well, if you're comfortable with it. The goal of such remarks is to deflect attention from their own insecurities. With these people, cut the conversation short and set clear boundaries. React immediately, otherwise, every additional comment will affect you even more. Remember your inner value and don't allow others to question it without reason. From a Zen perspective, cultivating inner strength and calm is essential. As Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh said, without inner peace, it is impossible to find outer peace. If we're not calm within ourselves, manipulators can easily disturb our balance. This is why meditation and mindfulness are essential in handling manipulation. Through meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without clinging to them, enabling us to respond more consciously and with greater control. Number 3, the ungrateful. Have you ever met someone who seems to have a void where their heart should be? These are the people who, no matter how much you give, always want more and never seem content. Imagine you're at a restaurant enjoying a wonderful dinner with friends, and suddenly, someone starts loudly complaining about the food, the service, and even the color of the napkins. Yes, you guessed it, it's a professional ingrate in action. In Buddhist wisdom, it is said, everything is in the mind. What makes some people seem perpetually dissatisfied? Psychology offers some interesting answers. A study from the University of California shows that people with low self-esteem tend to be less grateful. It's as if they have a filter that only lets in the negative, blocking the good things life has to offer. I'm not suggesting you cut all ties with those who forget to say thank you, but it's important to recognize when someone consistently takes advantage of your generosity. As entrepreneur Richard Branson said, treat your employees as you want them to treat your best customers. We can apply this advice to all our relationships. Imagine gratitude as a plant that needs water and care to thrive. If you keep watering a plant with your time, energy, and resources and it still doesn't bloom, maybe it's time to consider if you're cultivating in the right place. As Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh taught, gratitude is the heart of true Zen practice. By valuing the moment and the people in our lives, we turn each instant into a precious gift. However, don't confuse ingratitude with constructive honesty. Your friend who points out you have spinach in your teeth before an important date isn't ungrateful, they're an unsung hero. The difference lies in intent and behavioral patterns. An interesting study published in an American scientific journal showed that people are not only happier but also have stronger, longer-lasting relationships when they practice gratitude. It's as if gratitude were an invisible adhesive that holds our social connections together. So, what should you do about these types of people? The answer isn't simple, but we can learn some lessons from positive psychology. Martin Seligman, considered the father of this discipline, suggests that cultivating an attitude of gratitude benefits both the recipient and the giver. Instead of being frustrated with ingrates, we can see them as opportunities to strengthen our ability to appreciate the good things in life. Just as we exercise our muscles in the gym to strengthen our legs or back, training our gratitude muscle works in a similar way. However, it's important not to confuse gratitude with being an endless giver. Setting healthy boundaries is just as crucial as being generous. As author Brené Brown mentioned, generosity isn't infinite, and it's not genuine if it comes from resentment. Remember, a lack of gratitude says more about that person than it does about you. As psychologist Carl Rogers noted, the paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. The next time you face someone ungrateful, take a deep breath, remember your worth, and evaluate whether that person deserves your energy. If the answer is no, it's time to walk away. You're not being selfish, you're practicing self-care, and by taking care of yourself first, you'll be in a better position to care for others. If you choose to keep helping, do it because you genuinely want to, not because you expect recognition. Before we move on to the fourth type of person, share this video with your loved ones and those you think could benefit from it. Also, leave a comment with the phrase, "Every day, I grow wiser," to show me you're still here and to inspire others in their learning process. Number 4, lazy people. Have you ever met someone who seems to have an aversion to effort? These are the people who always find an excuse to do nothing, as if the couch were their natural habitat and the remote control an extension of their arm. Welcome to the intriguing world of the lazy, masters of the art of inactivity, who teach us valuable lessons about productivity, or rather, the lack of it. Imagine you're in a work meeting, and someone says, "I couldn't finish the report because my cat ate my motivation." Yes, you guessed right, they're a master of laziness. Why do some people seem to have a knack for procrastination? Science offers interesting answers. A study from a prestigious U.S. university suggests that laziness can be a strategy to conserve energy. It's as if our caveman ancestors left us a gene for energy saving. But in today's world, where we don't need to conserve energy to escape predators, this strategy can be counterproductive. As the renowned psychologist William James stated, nothing is so fatiguing as the eternal hanging on of an uncompleted task. In Zen Buddhism, the importance of mindfulness and being fully present in the moment is emphasized. As Zen master Shunryu Suzuki used to say, the beginner's mind has many possibilities, but the expert's mind has few. Laziness is often a way to avoid presence and full commitment. When we believe we've already mastered a subject, we tend to reduce the energy and attention we initially dedicate to it. That's why, in Zen practice, we are encouraged to fully engage in every task, no matter how trivial it may seem. This reminds me of the story of a Zen monk who diligently swept the monastery's path every day. When asked why he placed such importance on a simple task, he replied, "When I sweep the path, I also clear my mind, leaving it clean and free of distractions." So instead of fostering laziness in others, we can motivate them to fully commit to their activities, teaching them that every moment and every task are valuable opportunities for practice and personal growth. Recognizing and avoiding enabling those who avoid effort is an act of self-care and consideration for others. As Buddha once said, "You will not be punished for your anger, you will be punished by your anger." The same applies to laziness. Avoiding effort and responsibility leads to suffering and stagnation, both for the lazy individual and for those who try to help them. So, how can you identify a chronically lazy person? Here are some indicators. Type 1, the master of excuses. These people have more excuses than a cat has lives. "I couldn't make it to practice because my plant needed me to sing to it so it would grow." In Buddhism, excuses are like illusions that distance us from true understanding. As Zen master Shunryu Suzuki said, the most important thing is to know you have Buddha nature, which means nothing limits you. Type 2, the "I'll do it tomorrow" expert. For these individuals, tomorrow is a magical place where all pending tasks accumulate. Let's be clear, that tomorrow never comes. Zen Master Nathan teaches, the future depends on the present. If we take good care of this moment, the future will take care of itself. Type 3, the lazy multitasker. These people are often watching TV shows, scrolling through Facebook, and complaining about their work all at the same time. If they put that energy into being productive, they'd probably solve global issues. In Zen teachings, harmony between mind and action is essential. As the Zen saying goes, when you walk, walk. When you eat, eat. Type 4, the shortcut seeker. Always on the lookout for the easiest way to get things done, they'd be the first to download an app that could do everything for them. In Buddhism, seeking shortcuts is chasing illusions. As Zen Master Dogen taught, the way is perfect and everywhere. The moment you stop seeking, you realize you are already in the right place. Type 5, the procrastinator. For these individuals, an alarm clock is more of a friendly suggestion than an urgent signal. Just 5 more minutes, they say, and before they know it, an hour has passed. In Buddhist philosophy, time is seen as an illusion, but our responsibility in each moment is a tangible reality. I'm not suggesting you cut ties with everyone who prefers a nap over a gym session, but remember, surrounding yourself with lazy people can drag you into adopting their habits. As motivational speaker Tony Robbins said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose your company wisely, or you might end up being the only energetic one in a group of slackers. On helping others. When helping others, we must be mindful of where we invest our energy. It's not about refusing to help everyone but about doing so wisely, ensuring our efforts are genuinely meaningful and beneficial to both ourselves and those we assist. Type 6, the irresponsible. Have you ever met someone who seems to live in a world without consequences? Welcome to the fascinating world of the irresponsible, masters at dodging commitments and blaming everyone but themselves. Imagine being on a boat, and suddenly, water starts leaking through a hole in the hull. While you and the rest of the crew scramble to patch it up and bail out the water, someone lounges on the deck, sunbathing, saying, "Not my problem, I didn't make the hole." That, my friend, is irresponsibility in its purest form. Helping someone with this behavior often leads to frustration and anxiety. No matter how much support we offer, our help rarely brings about meaningful change. The irresponsible, true to their name, avoid taking accountability and possess an almost uncanny ability to blame others for their failures. This isn't just unfair, it can have a significant emotional and reputational impact on those trying to help them. Approaching these individuals with caution is crucial. An effective strategy is to invite them to reflect on their actions and the consequences. Instead of solving their problems for them, we can focus their attention on developing self-assessment and self-management skills. Neuroscientist Richard Davidson has shown that the brain is highly plastic and capable of adapting, even in adulthood. As Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. In this case, education includes not only academic learning but also the ability to take responsibility and learn from mistakes. Dealing with irresponsible people requires patience and self-control. Bertrand Russell noted, "The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people so full of doubts." Buddhism teaches that helping others can lead to enlightenment, but only when it is done wisely. So, when faced with someone chronically irresponsible, take a deep breath and remember that, at the very least, you have the awareness to question whether continuing to help them is the right choice. Type 7, the perpetual critic. These individuals have a knack for finding flaws in everything, from your clothing choices to how you manage your home or work. Spotting them is easy, their comments are typically negative and destructive. If this sounds familiar, you're likely dealing with a perpetual critic in your life. Managing these critics can feel like navigating an emotional minefield. No matter how well-intentioned you are, they'll always find a way to tear down your efforts with their incisive remarks. What drives them? Research suggests that perpetual critics often use criticism to assert power and control over others or to project their own insecurities. It's as if they wear special glasses that only let them see faults. To counteract their negative influence, it's essential to maintain a balanced perspective. Zen master Tyson Deshimura said, "True strength lies in a calm mind." Don't take their criticism personally, their words often reflect more about them than about you. Try steering the conversation toward positive aspects or constructive solutions. Sometimes, simply changing the subject can be the best defense against their verbal attacks. Remember, constructive criticism can aid personal development, but constant negativity only erodes self-esteem and undermines confidence. Setting firm boundaries and maintaining a positive attitude can protect you from their influence while fostering a more constructive and optimistic environment around you. Number 7, the narcissist. Have you ever met someone who seems to have a mirror instead of a soul? Welcome to the intriguing world of narcissists, individuals whose self-love occupies center stage. Imagine trying to fill an Olympic-sized pool with a single glass of water. That's how futile it can feel to satisfy a narcissist's ego. But don't worry, you're not alone on this journey. According to research from a prestigious university in the United States, approximately 6% of the population displays notable narcissistic traits. This means you've likely encountered one or two such people in your life. How to recognize these self-admirers? If you've ever met someone who seems to think the sun exists solely to highlight their presence, chances are you're dealing with a narcissist. These individuals have a special knack for turning any conversation into a monologue about their achievements, no matter how irrelevant. Dealing with a narcissist can be more exhausting than teaching a cat to bark, but don't lose hope, there are strategies you can use. The goal isn't to change the narcissist but to adjust how you interact with them. An effective strategy is what psychologists call selective validation. It's like training a dog, you reinforce the narcissist's positive behaviors and ignore the negative ones. When they show a rare moment of empathy, acknowledge it. However, when they start displaying their typical behaviors, don't engage in their game. Remember, you are not obligated to be a captive audience to their one-man show. In Zen, we learn that true happiness comes from accepting who we are. Don't let others impose their expectations and values on you. Maintain a clear awareness of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, and you'll discover an inner peace that helps you deal more effectively with manipulation, criticism, and narcissism. According to a renowned psychology author, the ego is like an insatiable octopus that consumes your life. A Zen master might describe the ego as a hungry ghost in samsara, always seeking more and never finding satisfaction. Don't let narcissism in your life become that octopus or ghost. Confidence versus narcissism. It's important to distinguish between healthy confidence and narcissism. According to Zen masters, confidence is like a serene lake reflecting the beauty of the sky, while narcissism is like a turbulent ocean, sweeping everything in its path. The difference lies in empathy and a constant need for admiration. A truly confident person can genuinely celebrate others' achievements, much like a Zen monk rejoicing in the awakening of their companions. On the other hand, a narcissist views others' successes as a threat to their own greatness. Dealing with a narcissist can be challenging, but it's also an opportunity to develop patience and empathy. Observing a narcissist can teach us valuable lessons about human desires and illusions. By doing so, we may reflect on our own inner barriers and challenges, allowing us to learn and grow personally. Number 8, the opportunist. Imagine encountering someone who always seems to be lurking, searching for every opportunity to take advantage of others without caring about the consequences. That's the opportunist, someone who skillfully benefits from others' generosity or resources, offering nothing in return but their own comfort. As Zen Master Nath stated, true happiness is achieved only when we stop expecting it to come from the outside and begin cultivating it within ourselves. Opportunists, however, seek happiness in others' resources and efforts, failing to realize that true satisfaction can only be found within. Don't confuse an opportunist with someone who genuinely needs help. The difference lies in behavior patterns and reciprocity. According to a Harvard University psychologist, opportunists excel at making you feel guilty if you don't meet their expectations. In Buddhism, we are taught that guilt and shame should be understood and transformed rather than allowed to dominate our lives. How to identify and handle opportunists. Spotting an opportunist can be tricky, as they often disguise their true intentions under the guise of collaboration and mutual benefit. A key sign is their lack of reciprocity. They always seek help but rarely return the favor or engage equally. Managing an opportunist requires setting firm boundaries and being mindful of your own resources and limitations. As Zen Master Dogen affirmed, understanding the limits of your capacity is the first step toward true strength. Establish clear expectations from the start. Define what you're willing to offer and what you expect in return. Encouraging reciprocity is crucial. Urge the opportunist to contribute equally to the relationship, whether by sharing responsibilities or clarifying roles and expectations transparently. From a psychological perspective, opportunists display a combination of low empathy and high self-interest. As Zen Buddhist Master Chogyam Trungpa noted, true compassion is altruistic and expects nothing in return. By learning to recognize and manage opportunists, you can protect your emotional well-being and foster healthier, more balanced relationships. It's essential to give and receive in any healthy relationship. If you find yourself constantly giving without receiving anything in return, it's time to reevaluate the situation. Investing time and energy in people who don't value your contributions can be emotionally draining. Instead, direct that energy toward more balanced and fulfilling relationships where your efforts are appreciated. As Zen Master Ikkyu once said, life is too short to waste on those who don't value your light. Final reflection. At the end of this video, I want to leave you with a question. Take a moment to reflect before answering. How would your life change if you could easily identify the behaviors described in this video in the people around you? If you find this useful, share your response in the comments below. You might inspire others to do the same. If you've made it this far, write the phrase, "I live my life with full awareness," in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to receive updates on new videos. Remember, all we have is the present. Until next time, dear friends.